the Dazzle and taking the Wisp for themselves leaves them a lot more flexible.
Team Liquid's turn to ban.
No, there's no coin toss for game 4. There'll be coin toss for game 5 though.
Yeah. Just the odd ones. Yeah.
Actually head into the draft.
So this time around, because OG have first pick, we won't see the Wisp. I think Blitz was right that if you're OG, you're not scared of Team Liquid possibly getting the Wisp. I mean, first of all, your first pick, but maybe they just prevent like the Wisp Tiny. Maybe they ban like Tiny if Wisp was picked up in a 3-4.
SF.
Radiant team pick.
This time,
It's
I think they
Radiant
can
side.
get. I think they can get Dazzle this time, though.
Tusk.
Dusk.
Yeah. Get wrecked, Blitz.
I think they know, though.
Turn to pick.
I think they know, though.
You don't
that
know
TL
everything.
No, I think they know that TL won't take it for themselves.
Yeah, so they can get SF in
Yeah.
the second pick.
It's just easily can rotate on SF2 in the mid lane. I just like the hero a lot more opening than SF most of the time. Alright, Team
Dazzle,
Liquid.
Wyvern. Do you preemptively get the Razor to go up
10
against the
seconds
SF?
remaining.
No, that would be so early.
Because it's probably going to be banned away in the 3-4.
Yeah, I mean, YOLO, go for it.
Yeah, you're one game up, whatever.
You're close.
You can afford a draft loss.
What do you take? Should I really be asking you guys?
I mean,
Silence. Just.
it's
I mean, don't everybody jump in.
Wyvern. Alright, I'm gonna predict Wyvern and
Rio's just trying to wait until they actually pick.
nah, that's not. I don't know for their second pick. It's really hard because, like Blitz said, OG probably are gonna get Shadow Fiend depending on what the two Liquid heroes are gonna be. Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Radiant
Yeah.
team pick.
Nice. I think they had to.
He said Undying.
Yeah, he did. They absolutely had to.
Jerka, you're the man.
Because if you don't take SF, then OG are 100% going to take it.
Yep.
Regardless of the fact that they lost with it last game, it's Radiant side SF. Miracle still plays it really well. He's super comfortable and warmed up on the hero. It wasn't really his fault that they lost the last
10
game either.
seconds
So
remaining.
you have to block it off.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright. Dazzle. We're gonna see Dazzle.
Bottom play
FY.
SF, not off.
Ah,
I was gonna
damn
say
it.
Wyvern.
Radiant
I mean, it's.
team
I
back.
think sometimes it's a toss-up between those two supports.
Ryu, aren't you supposed to be 7K? Come on, man. We're being shown up right now. Represent, dude. Go 6K casters, Durka. Go 6 and 4.5K casters,
Jeez.
Durka.
Is Toby here?
I said
Are you talking
5.5.
about 4.5?
5 seconds.
Toby's like
you were
4.
there once.
Toby's like 4-4.
4?
Toby's like 4-4. Let's relax here, guys. Take it down a notch. No, Toby's like 4-4.
No, he was 5K.
No.
Excuse me?
Essentially,
No. Did you forget?
I'm 4K. He has
Did you miss like the last like 8
October
months?
1?
5K? Toby is definitely. We can talk about this because there still hasn't been a ban, but like
Toby's actually. Yeah. Toby.
Nice.
Yeah, Blitz. He's just gonna pay Blitz to just hire his MMR.
if Toby's 5K, then Fada's name is Fada. Like I'm not I'm not
Fada.
buying this.
Sorry, Fada. That's the way it's got to be. They're taking a really long time to go for this first ban. The side of OG.
Probably AA. I'm thinking because normally all the time
Yeah,
Liquid are
Wyvern.
still gonna go for the AA pickup.
Yeah, and you have Wyvern. Ancient Apparition, I think, is a really direct counter to the Wyvern in many ways.
Maybe
What
they'll
are the-
just, I mean, you can't random a bans.
What are the best carries you can get, knowing that you're very likely to face up against some sort of aggro scenario, like Undying +1 bottom against your carry?
Well, they already have Wyvern. That's really good in
Yeah.
a situation.
Team
Dazzle's not too
Liquid's
bad.
turn to ban.
Still could be seeing the Tusk in the support position. I mean, it's not that great against the Undying, so we'll have to see what they want to do. Surprising they banned the Necro though, considering the Wisp is banned, but it is a lot of heal. And then they can't really
10
pick up
seconds
AA for
remaining.
themselves until, you know, Liquid pick first.
5 seconds
But-
remaining.
I think if you're OG, I don't know, because oftentimes we saw what at the major what Fnatic did to dodge the Undying. They just like split push nonstop and avoided the Tombstone at all costs.
Team Liquid's
But when you're playing
turn
against
to
an
bat.
SF, for example, like the AM is almost always one item behind. It's just the nature of the matchup. Not that they lane against each other or anything, but
And the SF is great at putting pressure down. If you're going to be dodging, you're not going to be able to put more pressure on the side lanes than SF will taking your towers.
yeah, exactly. You
He'll-
had to
he'll
take.
just always out objective you.
I think OG had to take the Winter Wyvern though. Once Team Liquid take the SF, just because it's such a good counter, like the Winter's Curse during the BK BLT. But and Crypt plays it really well. Credit where credit is due. I don't think OG expected Team Liquid to pick it because it's just not a hero that thought. He's not super well known for it, right? Yeah. It's just not a hero that I typically associate him with. But I think it's like a respect pick / ban. I feel like that's what Liquid have been doing this entire series is they've been picking the heroes that OG normally do just because you can't ban them to take away comfort. I mean, it's super popular for a reason. It might even
Oh, nice. They took away the Miracle Invoker and immediately pick up the Bane as one of the best supports with the Dazzle now banned away.
Yeah, Invoker's a really good hero for the Shadow Fiend. Not so much in the early lane, but once you start getting up the Cold Snap, you get that EMP, kind of negates the Shadow Fiend from going for that quick mech if he wants to, and it also just puts so much pressure. You get one roam over, and then pretty much the Shadow Fiend's gonna die. So we've seen it. Sure, Invoker might fall behind a little bit early on, but then he can put so much pressure on to the Shadow Fiend.
Team Liquid's turn.
So
to
the
bat.
Juggernaut, I think that's probably one of the best carries. You like Gyrocopter would obviously be ideal, I think, against an Undying +1, but Juggernaut with his spin, he can actually deal out a good amount of damage. He can address the Tombstone pretty quickly.
Yeah, they have a lot of damage now they can put out on this Undying. Maybe they will think twice about putting him in the bottom lane or, you know, sacking the Undying. Because if they
10
do the dual
seconds
lane against a
remaining.
Wyvern Juggernaut +1, I don't know if they're going to get enough from
5
Team Liquid. They just might be
seconds
feeding over the kills.
And most of the pairing heroes with Undying are gone. Darkseer, Tusk,
Reserve
Spirit
time.
Breaker, but no, I don't. Don't care about stats. It was like 48% or something. He was sub 50%.
17% luck.
It's like playing Axe before he got that pseudo random. You either get like 5 spins in a row or you get 1, and then what the...
The Swedes once told me that Swedish people never pick axe because they're like cursed or something. There was like some really long reason why.
Wait, what? What about Jonas?
That's the only person. Like
Okay,
this was
that's the
before
only
that
guy?
time. This was like
Oh,
TI4
okay.
time. I was like, why do you guys never pick axe? Like, the RNG isn't with us. It's like why Flop told me they never picked like TC Bear anymore, Lone Druid.
Uh-huh.
He's just like
10 seconds
TC's like
remaining.
Oh god, I could
Like,
never
Valve
get a
gave him,
root
like, a
on
0%
Lone Druid
chance
to
of
save
root.
my life. Screw that
5
hero.
seconds remaining.
So Dota players are superstitious. Is that
Yeah,
what you're
of course.
saying? Okay.
they knew
Uh,
TC's Bear was broken.
The Ursa again picked up like Gyrocopter, Juggernaut. Ursa does address them, but
Ursa is so good against Juggernaut. You just pop your ulti when Juggernaut does, and you take 0 damage. It's a really good counter. You just have to make sure you get it perfectly timed. Make sure you get it off before the Wyvern ultis, and then you can be fine. But we haven't seen this hero, and maybe we could have seen it from Alliance, but never seen it from OG. This is a new element.
10 seconds.
the Moon
remaining.
Furion. I actually thought very early on when I was watching Moon play Furion, I thought his Furion was actually better than Emerald Bulldog's.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Whoa, shots fired. Well, maybe it's that's the case.
10 seconds
I'm sorry. Who's in the finals?
I knew you were about to say that.
Yeah, here.
I knew it.
I mean, if anything, Moon is the only person who can contest Admiral Bulldog.
I
for
mean,
that
you're
throne.
just firing shots at everyone today. Toby, Alliance. Jeez.
Okay.
Team
Spear
Liquid's
Breaker.
turn to pick.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Omni Knight.
No, you don't.
Saw that earlier, guys. I just really
what, you
love
need a
what
strong
OG are
disable?
trying to do. I think even OG might go for a DK last,
10
just because they want to
seconds
put so much
remaining.
pressure that Ursa can't really do anything, and they have so many
5
tanky heroes. How are they
seconds
going to even
remaining.
kill him? Liquid, yeah, they need some kind of burst damage. I mean, all they
Reserve
really do
time.
have is the physical burst damage down, and ooh, couldn't have. Okay.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, you needed either something to allow Ursa mobility or actual disable to
I
set
mean,
up this Ursa. I like a Dragonite idea though for OG. I mean, it's very similar to the way we saw it ran earlier. The idea that Dragonite's just a heavy armor hero versus Ursa has a disable. You have early pushing power between the healing ward,
10
Prophet,
seconds
and
remaining.
DK.
I'm just looking at OG's lineup, and it's so good for dealing with what they're
5
doing. Like, you can
seconds
snowball safe, RPs, as long as he's not caught in. You can turn around fights easily with Wyvern Course. And then the
Reserve
biggest thing
time.
is they have Cold Embrace, too, to deal
Which
with all
one's
this
the hero?
physical
10 seconds
damage.
remaining.
So good.
I don't want you to be able to say, "Oh, I was gonna predict that hero." What's the hero?
5 seconds remaining.
I gotta see the list.
Oh,
Ow!
you didn't have the time, friend. Alchemist.
It looks like
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
call, Blitz.
good call, but
Thank you.
yeah. So we do game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say OG are gonna take this one, because the fact they have Miracle and Alchemist is, I just think he's an absolute monster on that hero.
I think the build on Alchemist, especially when you go the Medallion, is going to be pretty effective against the Ursa. I'm going to
10
side with OG
seconds
here.
remaining.
I'm gonna say Liquid takes it. I think that the Ursa SF is enough to
5
deal with the
seconds
Alch.
remaining.
I think Ursa's actually really good once you get a BKB at dealing with the Alchemist. Like, you can... Yeah,
That Solar Crest, though.
I think it's gonna be close, for sure. I feel like the first Roshan is gonna mean a lot, what they can do with it.
Yep.
But...
For liquid turn. Final to tap and put.
Thank you, Zoe. OG versus Team Liquid, game number 4 here, 2-1 to Liquid's favor. And we already have some early movement. This has been pretty standard for the early game on both sides. We have TP out on both sides. Fly's actually going to give them a really early laning phase ward to see the rotations of Liquid. And Jarek's actually TP'd into the mid lane to get this really early rune ward laid out. So both teams actually get a little bit of information here and there. Neither team is going to be caught in the process, though.
Yeah, both teams... I mean, Liquid especially wanted to try to force an engagement around the tombstone if at all possible. But it doesn't look like this time is going to happen. They wanted what happened in game 1, I think it was, where they were able to contest down and then switch
Yeah.
sides to the rune. That kind of mind game is pretty effective.
Especially against an Alchemist, obviously. You don't want to give up that free bounty rune, which they may still try and run up to the top lane to contest. Leave the Magnus behind to get the bottom rune. It's going to be risky, though. 10 more seconds left. OG, they don't have time to actually stop this. They have to go for the top rune. Ice Shards are going to be able to block out a couple. At least Matu is going to be the one of them. And they are going to have Kuro just dive in, try and take away that bounty rune miracle. He pops a Grievous Greed, and oh, he gets it just barely. There's that big increase in gold for Miracle. Is he going to be going down here? Jarek's couldn't actually get to sleep, but Miracle is going to be forced a long way around as Kuro just continues to right-click him down. Crit even throws down another Ice Shards just to make sure there's no pursuit. And Fly going with the body blocking.
That screws the Alchemist over so hard if he's not able to get the bounty rune. Like, he's already off to... He's got 1,200 net worth at 0 minutes of the game.
What you gonna do?
That's just honestly... That's some good Dota right there.
Yeah, really smart play. Like, Liquid, if it wasn't for the blockout from the Ursa, like that Ice Shards reaction from Crit, I think if Matu's there, they at least get first blood, even if bounty runes give it up, and that's an okay trade-off at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. I think that overall, OG, their decision to go for that was pretty huge, and they might even get the kill on Thought as
the
he's getting
blockout.
slowed.
They don't have level 2 on any of these heroes, but it doesn't seem to matter. Miracle is going to be the one claiming first blood thought you could stop him, but he gets the bounty run, he gets first blood, and this net worth advantage is going to be out of control. Meanwhile, Undying has actually picked up a kill on the Nature's Prophet at the top lane. I thought we were going to see some action in the bottom lane as well. Mind Control, yeah, there may be some action here. No Tail, he doesn't actually have spin. He went Blade Dance first in Mind Control. If he went for a Skewer and maybe a Shockwave, he might have been able to get that kill.
It's actually pretty funny how much he's getting out of this lane because of that mid gank. No Tail's been forced to scale up the healing ward, and this should allow him some more control back into this lane. And at top, Matumba Man and the Undying, like Kuro had 10 HP at some point, maybe even less than that. Like that was almost just a straight up trade for a Moon, but unfortunately not quite there. Good news for them though is how far Miracle is ahead of everybody else in this game so far.
Yeah.
Just by virtue of being able to pick up that kill, which was first blood, I believe, and getting the bounty rune.
Yep.
That's the dream start.
Mind Control gets to the bottom rune, which is the bounty. Oh dear, Alchemist. Gotta be on front on his face now. Does have that early bottle though, and will have boots pretty quickly. Jerks will take the regen at the top lane. Moon, despite going down, is still in a pretty decent position in this lane. He's forcing out Kuro by spamming out those treants. As you said, I guess he got really low in that first engagement. So it shows Moon is still able to take control of this lane. It's a double melee lane after all. Heroes like Phoenix and Furion are going to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he's got to take advantage of this because his Magnus is... or the Magnus on the other side of things.
The Ice Shards catches Fada here. They do really need to be careful because you never know if that Furion's going to come in and get that extra bit of damage to finish off Fada.
Alright, so Moon continues to kind of just hold. He's got enough CS so far. They're going to try to go on him at top, and they might even get this kill.
Oh, with the Tombstone, he's going to try and go for the TP out. Smart play, and it's going to be enough. They just try and go for some of the treants now.
With 2 levels of the Earthshock. The Fury swipes, it does a lot, yeah, but overpower, only 3 hits, and your attack speed is god-awful.
Yeah. So Moon actually just TP's right back in. Matumba Man actually just wants to threaten Moon again, and we'll be able to get some damage on him, but I highly doubt it. Oh, maybe, yes, one more hit, he needs it! We'll be able to get it underneath that tier 2 tower. There is going to be some sort of response. Crit is making his way over, and they do have potential TP in. Oh no! Matumba Man, get the aggro off of you! He doesn't in time, and Kuro actually drops really low. In fact, if Crit finds Kuro, he can maybe get that kill, but he's too far away.
That was definitely a mistake.
Yeah.
I think the Undying might have actually switched the aggro back.
He hit he hit in this tree area. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it might have just switched it, and he had nothing to A attack in time. That's really unfortunate that he had to die for that. He planned it out perfectly too, the kill on Moon. Like he knew when the 3 hits were going to serve right there, and forces a lot out of Moon. He had a TP back up there, he TP'd out in the first place, and this Magnus continues to get I'd say a pretty decent amount in the safe lane, considering.
The thing is that, oh, Miracle! He drops really low. Fada doesn't have enough damage, though. He hit 3 different raises, bringing Miracle quite low. But there wasn't any follow-up damage. Now Mind Control's going to be the one in trouble. Does have Skewer, but Splinter Blast hits him. Moon's going to come in. He does have a Sprout to be able to control Mind Control. No way out of this, and he will be going down. Nice rotation. Meanwhile, the top lane, well, we're still going to have a fight at bottom. Kuro actually throws out the Tombstone. They've already taken it out, though, and Kuro is going to be just forced away. Meanwhile, in the top lane, it looks like they did get Crit's toss back to bottom. Kuro is actually going to be target. Once again, they get the Sprout on him. Decay gets laid out, but Kuro can't actually stand up against the 3 heroes here. They're now going to be able to push out that bottom lane. Oh, middle Miracle. He's 1 HP left. Oh, man, the snowball. Attempted save, but crit. But it wasn't in time. And bottom lane, Mind Control, still battling it out. Wants to be able to perhaps get a deny here. We will be able to get it. Can he also get himself away with his Skewer? Not even necessary, it seems. He's going to turn and actually fight No Tail. Gets a Shockwave onto him. Skewer still available. He's just hoping to be able to push back
this is pretty dangerous for him to continue to press this on.
Yeah, he's got a Skewer out of the trees now.
Still a really good min-max. Like, for him to be able to deny that tower in that situation is really significant. And at the same time, while the action was happening, Fada being able to get the kill with the help of Jirax in the mid lane onto that Alchemist, they needed something to slow down his momentum.
Yeah, because Alchemist, he may not have the best CS in the world, but he's still top of the net worth as expected, especially with the kind of start he had. TP's in, refill bottles.
It's so scary playing against Miracle's Alchemist because most Alchemists, you know that there's like a build-up, like a very slow build-up where they go for the Radiance or something like that. But by eschewing that completely, he just gets online so much faster than you expect.
Jerax is going to stop this one. It's actually the Invis. Miracle not going to be in trouble though. He has Chemical Rage, so the 2 supports can't actually threaten him.
Meanwhile, at top, the Ursa just continues to farm. He has the Mask of Death now.
Why do you think he went for the Mask of Death over the Phase Boots, which gives you a little bit more kill potential against heroes like, especially that Furion?
To heal up a little bit.
Okay.
And so that you can threaten the Roshan immediately. Like, at any time that you win a trade whatsoever, you can just immediately walk in there.
Yeah, if he goes, you know, off lane, farms up some neutrals, there's a threat that he could actually be Roshing the whole entire time.
Yeah. That's something that they have to pay attention to.
Right.
Part of Dota is just like the threats that you can put on without actually having
Take
to
off on
inherently
the
do
bottom
stuff.
lane, Jerix. He's going to set up the skewer back. Now, they do have the Cold Embrace to be able to buy some time. Moon is going to be hit by the Shockwave plus the skewer. That seems to be enough damage by itself. The block out there with the trees, but it's still not enough. Skewer rams the trees right down to the ground, and Mind Control picks up the kill on Moon's Furion.
Interestingly enough, he decides to skip the Arcane Boots build that we
Oh,
normally
Omni
see.
Slash! They got the Bane. No Tail just shows up.
Oh, he doesn't have skewer,
Oh,
right?
Can he get the block? No, the trees don't get in time, and we don't have upgraded boots on No Tail. He still gets some damage on Mind Control. Can he actually run him down all the way to tier 2? No. 365 compared to 355. He was going to get out of range of the spin.
That was optimistic too, though. Without
Yeah.
upgraded boots, he was just gonna static move speed up. With one right click, he would have just lost control anyways.
Same kind of scenario here. No like early upgraded boots, even the phase potential for No Tail.
And this one's more common, just going
Yeah.
for the straight up Aquila. And we've seen him in the past just go for the drums into the travels.
Mhm.
He's done that so often that I think that's more likely going to be the build.
Right.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Miracle. Let's see. He's almost got that medallion. His tier 1 tower is under siege right now by Fada.
Liquid have done a good job of keeping Fada close though in net worth. And that's all you really need for the SF versus the ALK. They're going to trade some hits on the
Jerix,
jungle.
oh yeah, they're actually doing Roshan at the time. No Tail, he runs right into that Mad Ursa Bear, and they will be able to pick up that 1 kill. The ultimate was expended by Mataba Man, but he's still going to try and go for Roshan with the help of his allies. But there is going to be rotations by OG. They're not going to let this one go uncontested, or maybe they will.
That's 3 levels of Tombstone, and
Yeah.
you don't know how low it is, like quite. You don't
Yeah.
want to just walk in there and then it's done, and then you're fighting under a Tombstone and an Ursa with Aegis.
Yeah. The problem is, without Enrage, it takes a bit longer to do that Roshan, but Matamba Man's still going to be able to pull it off here.
Is under attack.
And just heroes like Alchemist can't really do much until they have the higher level of Unstable Concoction plus the Medallion. He's got the Medallion, but only level 1 Concoction.
This mid lane, he's hitting away at it.
Yeah, they're wrapping
Tombstone
around.
gets dropped.
They had the Fiend's Grip, everything else. Winter
Here
Wyvern's
comes
not here to
Ursa.
save Miracle, and Miracle's just going to get wrapped around on. That seemed pretty obvious. Now Fly, he's going to Arctic Burn away, but the Skewer actually pursues. Mind Control's going to be able to catch up. He's got a Shockwave too to finish off Fly, and that'll be another kill going to Team Liquid. Meanwhile, OG were 3-manning up the top lane, trying to take this tier 1, but at this rate, if they're losing so many heroes, they may not be able to stick around.
Under attack.
It does look like it's going to be the drums travels build, but I mean the build up right now for them is maybe a little bit too slow. As Liquid are putting on the pressure quite quickly. They're not even going to be able to take down that top towers. Everybody's going to rotate. There's no way that you want to trade 1-for-1 in that position, even if it is the mid tower.
Yeah. So both towers will end up staying alive. Miracle shows up. That Asprey is really tough to push into. And the Furion backs away from top. We do have an Omni Slash ready to go on No Tail. Mind Control just threatening that RP, making it so No Tail may never feel safe aggressively farming.
Both runes are going to be taken by Team Liquid.
Dire's
As
middle tower
it's only going to be an illusion rune, so not too big of a loss for OG. But they're going to be playing a little bit more passively, as Miracle's just going to sit in this side of the jungle, make sure that he just continues to rack up the farm. They probably don't want to fight before he has, what, the Solar Crest?
Pull out Solar Crest. Do you think Blink Dagger's necessary for Miracle as well?
He's in love with Shadow Blade. He might go that
Yeah.
route. The Shadow Blade allows him to kind of just sneakily get in there.
Yeah.
And that would allow them to get the Ursa before he's able to get the Enrage off.
The Acid Spray down. Liquid
Radiant's middle tower
do end up
has
taking
fallen.
control at tier 1. OG, no, this is all a trade-off. They're just trying to efficiently farm. You had No Tail farming up the enemy jungle a bit, Moon pushing out bottom. Everything they can because they know they can't fight Team Liquid right now. Especially coming up soon with Fada completing that mech.
No, this is a super scary situation for OG because when you've got a hero like Juggernaut and there's an Ursa on the enemy team, what are you supposed to do? You ulti the Ursa, he just pops his enrage.
Yeah. Mind Control is going to be hit here. He does have the RP plus Skewer, but the Snowball is going to be there, plus the Walrus Punch. There's just too much disable time. Pretty heavy commitment, though, by OG 3 heroes. They might be able to also claim that tier 1 tower, though. That'll make it well worth it.
Yeah, they should go for that goal right now. And Fada doesn't have enough mana or HP to do this, really. He's going to try to pressure in this bottom lane. He does have the mech up.
Oh, Miracle! He's got the unstable concoction, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's been brought low enough that Matumba Man is able to finish him up. Miracle just keeps on getting pounced by Team Liquid. Every single time he shows up a bit too far forward in that middle lane.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold that he's losing to every single time that this happens. The Ursa steadily climbs the net worth.
Jarex is going to get a Fiend Script situation. No, he's certainly not. No tail. He's going to show up, and they don't even need the Omni Slash. He gets asleep. It only buys him a bit of time before the inevitable occurs. Does go down.
He didn't get time to brain sap, though. Maybe he just thought it was going to be futile.
Yeah. OG will continue to push that tier 2, hoping to be able to force Liquid back from pushing mid. It seems like they are successful. They'll have to back away soon.
They should get out before the Ursa comes here. And at some point, though, Liquid are just going to leave OG with no room to move around the map. Just they want to get the SF with his mech, which they have. They've got the Ursa Blink Dagger. They've got most of the core.
Miracle, are you dead again? He gets off the Chemical Rage, but again, the unstable concoction is only going to be able to buy him a little bit of time. Matumba Man, that physical damage just shreds the Alchemist.
Okay, he's just getting eaten right now. Like, it's... What level of stun is that? Level 2 stun. Does almost nothing. Matumba Man just chases him down. He was probably just afraid that somebody else was there. But the speed at which he's dying, like, the Chemical Rage is not helping him against the Fury Swipes.
No. Matumba Man with Phase Boots, Blink Dagger, another 1,700 gold on top of all of that. OG, they just got to continue to be aggressive on the side lanes then if they're going to be losing their Alchemist constantly. Moon's going to show up, threaten the tier 2 a bit more with some damage. But this isn't really going to accomplish anything. Maybe just a show to lure some heroes up. Or maybe they actually will catch something. They do have Winter's Curse on Fly. Bottom lane, they're going to be surrounding Crit here. The wraparound from Matumba Man. Crit does have a snowball to be able to buy himself some time. Is there going to be TPs? Doesn't look like it. They're just going to try and dive in deep. Obviously, Crit's going to be going down, but Mind Control is the trade-off. Tier 2s all around, it seems.
Yeah, they might not even get the tier 2 at bottom. I don't think they're 100% capable of this. Jarex in mid lane, though.
Oh, Miracle! Jarex does have the Fiend's Grip. This time around, they should TP to try and save him. Fada coming in. He's got the Requiem of Souls. He's being body blocked up by creeps a little bit. They have the Cold Embrace. But Fly shows up as well. Winter's Curse. Oh, no! 1 kill turns to 2. Double for Fada. And even No Tail's low enough that he can't show up.
No Tail just immediately getting the hell out of there. Without the Omni Slash up, even then, the Ursa was enraged up. No way that you're going to take that fight, but...
Is this just the greediness of the draft from OG because you have a Furion pushing one lane, a Juggernaut pushing another, there's no other places for Miracle to go? Like, from the casual observer, you'd say, oh, why does he keep going middle lane time and time again? He keeps getting caught, but is there really anywhere else he can go?
Maybe he could go with his team, but I think it's just, he's not really expecting the speed at which he's dying against the Ursa, and he definitely didn't anticipate that mid-death. If the Bane did a really good job of wrapping around, like, Jarex has been on top of him every single time. But he's just not used to being punished this much. And Liquid, they're making sure that the star player of OG, he's being shut down as much as they possibly can. They know that the Juggernaut is not nearly as big of a threat. And maybe at some point they have to worry about this Nature's Prophet, who steadily continues to climb. We've almost see him pick up his Orchid, but right now, all of their focus is on this.
Ooh, the block out of Matumba Man. He doesn't have the Aegis. Can he actually kill him, though? The ultimate's out. Unstable Concoction's going to come on through, getting an extra bit of damage, but the rest of Liquid are here. His Tier 1 towers offering severe protection. They do have the ultimate. Oh, Mind Control comes in with the RP on 3! Right on top of a tombstone. That's going to be 3 surrounded by zombies. There's nowhere they can go. The zombie apocalypse plus an animal comes right on through. OG are going to lose a 4th now as Fly turns around and embraces death as Liquid. They are offering tons of death for OG at this point in time. They could just roll right through the middle lane now.
That was so scary. I was like, I saw that in slow motion, you know, when you're looking at, it's like a horror movie where you know that the chick's gonna die, and you have the full vision, and you're just like, oh god, and I saw Mind Control come in from the top with the skewer, and I was like, he's gonna hit a 4-man RP.
Coming through like a freight train. Tier 2 is going to go down in the middle lane. They do have the Orchid complete now for the Nature's Prophet, but does that really mean anything when Liquid are just going to be spending so much time grouped up?
They're just losing too many heroes right now. Like, they're losing all of their cores. No Tail and Miracle have just fallen so far behind, especially Miracle. The fact that he's behind in net worth to his Nature's Prophet when he had the start that he did, getting the first blood and the bounty rune of the game, that is the most troubling sign to me. Because oftentimes you'll see, even in games where the Alchemist is behind, he leads in net worth because of the virtue of just Screevel's greed, but in this game he is massively far behind. The Ursa's destroying him at pretty much at every turn.
3-man smoke up, but they are not really going to find anything. Liquid have already backed up at the perfect time, and was that the blink on Mind Control now complete?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, they just want to fight and almost stick down to tier 2.
What's Kuro get? Because you have a mech on the SF. What do you value more?
Crimson Guard or something weird. Maybe a medallion of your own.
Okay.
Just a counter, but you've got to get out of here if you're OG. You can't fight again.
No.
They're just posturing to allow Moon some space. At least one hero's farming.
And this is man's hungry. He's gonna get Miracle too.
Not again.
Why does this keep on happening?
Not like this.
Time and time again, Miracle.
And that Ursa is so good against the Alchemist. Like, he's just getting
Blot back, fly. Yeah, okay. That is not gonna save you one bit. Tier 2. That's gonna be up next. Behind him, Matubba Man actually once more.
Radiant's middle
Crit will be able to get away, but Liquid just keep on moving forward here.
They are so unafraid of everything right now. They know that the Alchemist is so underfarmed that it doesn't even matter if he has buyback available. They know for a fact that the Glyph is down too.
Oh, the bash first. Why not? Crit immediately buys back. He's got 8 more seconds still. The Alchemist is back. He can't afford to buy back, or otherwise their farm progression would just be too halted. But it
there's
seems
the
like
RP ready. Tombstone's about up too.
it's going to be more than enough sustain, but Moon has been pushing in that top lane. He's about threatened that tier 3, and it looks like Liquid are actually going to back out. Try and catch Moon here. The RP threatened, but Orchid comes out. Can Moon actually escape from this disaster? No way. Matubba Man's able to get his claws into the Furion, and they'll get that kill beyond godlike from Matubba Man before the 20-minute marker.
This is before the Roshan too, and they've already pressured this much into the map. And this Alchemist, you're just not really feeling his impact. There might just be too many heroes that they have to spread around farm with, but this is not the hero that we saw at the majors. And I think this is more just how well Liquid is playing rather than Miracle getting outplayed or anything like that. But Fada, even his SF is absolutely huge. We've been talking about this Ursa, but he's actually the one leading the net worth chart.
4-man. 5-man mid now for Liquid. They can just keep going through that mid lane. Of course, Roshan is up if they want to have an extra life on Matubba Man before they head out there.
They definitely do. This is the big sign for them to go down the mid lane after.
Oh, they're actually going to go for bottom first. The ward is scouting them, so Moon's not going to be caught by this by any means.
I think this is going to signal them to continue pushing top, actually. Like, Moon just TPs halfway through, and let Matubba Man do this by himself, because they have to push in top as much as they possibly can. This is their one shot at this. Like, maybe you can trade racks. That's about as good as it gets in this situation.
Yeah.
But there's no way that you're going to win a straight 5-on-5 fight anymore against Liquid. Like, that time is long past.
Matubba Man finishes up Roshan. And he actually keeps his ultimate intact as well if they want to immediately fight. Moon's going to try and pick up the tier 1 real quickly, but you only have a few seconds before Matubba Man can be here. He's got a completed Abyssal now.
Okay, alright.
Jesus.
He pretty much kills anybody on the map by himself. They have to worry about this so much. The thing that we don't talk about oftentimes is the Abyssal Blade's damage that it provides. Because most of the time at that phase, it doesn't matter as much. But 20 minutes into a game, the extra 85 damage, 10 strength is nothing to sneer at.
He's level 16 as well. Maxed out in range, multiplying that Fury swipes by 2 now. Alchemist wandering around. He's got himself a Solar Crest and is hoping to be able to pick up perhaps a Halberd as well. Try and mitigate the damage from the Ursa, but it just, I mean, all the evasion in the world doesn't seem to matter. Ursa's still going to kill you eventually. Jerix almost stumbles into No Tail at the right time. But Not good enough. Battle Fury complete. Is this the build for No Tail though? It's gonna split push really heavily, but should have gone more a stat focused build. Should we have seen that Boots of Travel?
What does he
earlier?
build though in this position? Like if he goes for his split push build, okay, the Ursa blinks on top of you with Abyssal, and kills you in 3 shots anyways. This has got to be a team effort for OG if they want to come back into this game, if they want to avoid the 3-1. So right now it's just looking all Liquid.
They're gonna have to seriously outmaneuver Team Liquid in order to keep a hold on this game, because Team Liquid are gonna go for that push soon. They're controlling that top lane and mid. Actually, gonna go for these couple of towers first.
What Liquid have to do is pincer all the lanes at once to make sure that whatever happens, that Moon is stuck in a situation where eventually he has to come back.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's easy for Liquid, right? Because they know for a fact that they're going to win the fights. Because they're the nature of how far ahead they are.
Crit. He's going to cut the next incoming creep wave. He was waiting it out a while here.
Moon Meander Dota, he's got to go insane this game.
He really does.
This is the only way for them to come back. Straight 5-on-5
out. 4 show up on Liquid here at this top lane to get that tier 1. They are being cut though. Crit's gonna wave goodbye. Heading on out. Moon's also gonna TP out the courier. Managed to catch that one. No items on it though. And not a huge loss for Team Liquid.
Still, Moon's doing pretty much everything that he can, that he's thinking of right now. He's like, I gotta snipe the courier, I gotta go around this map. And he's creating a lot of space. Like, everybody else from OG is doing a really good job of farming. Crit was able to split up that top area to slow down the push significantly. No Tail continues to get some more farm. Things are okay-ish, but at bottom...
Moon, oh, they were going to show up at his bottom lane with Yorick in play, but now No Tail. He was potentially turned around on Jerix. Looking for the Fiend Script play to TP out. RP locks him down. No Tail's not escaping from this one. They'll be able to throw their full resources at him to be able to get him. But meanwhile, Matumba Man in the top lane. Snowball saved there. Curl also has that Tombstone out to try and slow down these heroes. Do they really want to be close range with Matumba Man? They need some serious disables. Unstable Concoction's going to come out, but Miracle, he's stunned up a little bit. They have that Cold Embrace, but Crit's going to be ripped apart instead. They need to kill Matumba Man here desperately, but it looks like the Winter's Curse, that's going to be able to buy them time to take life 1, and Unstable Concoction is coming up as well, so they have a second round of disables to kill Matumba Man. Blinks away. They need the, oh, they get it with the Sprout. Unstable Concoction, it doesn't go off. Miracle stuns himself instead. Matumba Man, the Orchid is going to be able to go off soon. The split spot gets laid down, trying to slow him down, block him out as much as possible. Another Sprout gets laid out. They need this kill desperately. Matumba Man stuck in the trees, frustrated as all hell, can't get away, but back comes in. There is the Liquid's here. They can't finish off Matumba Man, and now OG, they just get obliterated by Liquid. TP out from Miracle, but that's the only one.
That would have been so huge for them to be able to stop the stream of Matumba Man, but he barely gets out of there.
Radiant's top tower.
And that was the way back into the game. That took so long for them to do, though. They were able to make it all the way from bottom to that top lane because it took them so long.
The quick blink away, combined with the fact that Miracle stuns himself on the Unstable Concoction, meant they just lacked the damage, and Matumba Man gets away with the space needed. Liquid, with their reinforcements, scores several kills. 24 minutes in now, a 10,000 gold lead for Team Liquid.
That was really well done by OG, though. They finally split up the map and forced like an odd rotation. They thought that Liquid thought there was no way that they were going to engage the Undying and the Ursa at top, but by doing so, that should have been OG's way back into the game. Like, they kill the Ursa with the Aegis, they slow down the high ground push, they get a lot of gold out of him too. That could have just potentially been the game opener for them.
Do you complete Halberd on Miracle? He's got the... Oh yeah, he gets it now.
Yeah.
So there is going to be this window of time because they no longer have the Aegis. They might have to wait till the next Roshan where they have BKB on Ursa as well as Aegis and even Cheese. That'll be 4.5 minutes.
Hey, we're only focusing on the Ursa right now, but at some point you can't ignore the fact that the Shadow Fiend has become an absolute like giant.
He's got Scotty.
Yeah, this is kind of turned into a game where there's so much focus on the Ursa, but
oh, I'm sorry, Fly. That's not the life you wanted to live. And die. 3 bottom from Team Liquid. OG hoping to be able to force them back with this push at the top lane by No Tail. Tier 3 is actually quite low. It'd be a nice bit of bounty if they could actually claim that last hit. But I doubt No Tail feels adventurous enough to go uphill.
Point Booster is going to come in. That's the Helm of Dom as well on Fada. He's got an insane amount of farm. Like, for everything that Matumba Man has, Fada's got 2,000 more.
Undying picks up the gem. They know it's just all about controlling the map right now, and the less vision OG have, the less secure they're going to feel when they go for these split pushes down the side lanes.
I mean, they just want to make absolute sure that that one fight goes well for them.
Mhm.
So they're just going to load up on items. You can probably even wait for the next Roshan, because you know that OG can't contest it, and at that point, it doesn't really matter if you get split pushed. As long as you
Yeah.
can keep the tier 2 towers alive. They've taken out all the tier 3s, and you know for a fact that Liquid, once they go for that push, it's going to be straight for like all 3 sets of racks. And by keeping their tier 2s alive...
No crit! Oh!
Okay.
Instantly, the Abyssal, and a free kill from Matumbaman. Moon does have the Aghanim Scepter, and they're going to try and split push as much as possible. Dire Courier ends up going
That's a
down
BKB.
there.
That's a huge pickoff.
Oh, wow. How did that get sniped?
Buys a little bit more time. I think it was...
Was that just creeps?
No, I think... Wait. It was over here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Because I thought I saw Moon the whole entire time in the
Maybe,
bottom
actually.
lane. So.
Maybe they just mismicroed.
Oh, dear. Still, though, there's so many items on Liquid. They're going to go for the uphill push already. 4 more seconds till the Tusk is back up, trying to force Moon back to defend his base. He's actually trying to cut the creep wave at the top lane, but there's still another creep wave on its way. Backdoor protection will not be going up.
And Fada's getting a little bit low, but with the tombstone down and him being as tanky as he is...
Oh, the Omni Slash. Fada's dropping a little bit low. There is the defensive sleep, though. He's already brought down to half HP. No tail. Well, the Cold Embrace only going to buy so much time, but now the RP, they bring him back. Winter's Curse stalls up Mind Control. They get off the Unstable Concoction onto 2. Snowball also buys Miracle a little bit more time. They really want to go on Fada, but he's so damn tanky. They don't have the damage necessary to kill him. They both end up falling, and now OG are just left with 2 to defend against the 4 of Team Liquid. Even if Fada and Matumbaman are low, they can easily just 1 or 2 shot the rest of OG.
It seems like...
Man jumping forward, the Splinter Blast chases him down, slows, gives Fly a little bit of space. He doesn't have the Aegis, he's going to be going down here. Yeah, he's buying space for his team, I guess. The melee racks are going to go down to Fada.
Was that really space buying?
The backdoor protection is almost keeping this melee rack alive, but finally the regen is not enough. Jax may end up going down here. Looks like they may leave him behind. Kuro gets a Soul Rip. Fly catches up. Soul Rips, or Splinter Blast, slowing down some of these heroes. But no catch from OG.
The Shadow Fiend now has 4.3k gold. Even with the Ursa's death, I mean, who does that go on? The Nature's Prophet? That's 1100. It's a really significant amount, but has the fully completed Aghanims and almost the Octarine if he wants it.
Yeah. But as you said, you know, what's the split push really matter if you could just end the game outright? And that's close where we're at. Satanic about to be complete for Fada, so he's unkillable.
With that tier 3 dead and the amount of farm that he has, they're about to pick up the next Aegis with the cheese. That's coming soon.
Yeah. Satanic for the Ursa as well. Helmet Dominator, BKB, and then Satanic.
The Ursa also didn't have the BKB though for the last fight because they were able to lose the Courier. That is going to be a huge pickup. Like, they lost that fight without that item up. And that's not an insignificant item anymore at 28 minutes into the game. That nullifies the Orchid, a lot of the stuns.
Yeah. Or Roshan, which seems pretty apparent that Liquid's going to be able to take that one. It's up in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, Matumbaman's just going to wait for his items to flood in.
Moon's gonna have to cut so many creep waves, never be caught, if he wants to be able to stall up this next, essentially, death push from Liquid.
And he's been playing pretty well. Just his team is so far behind right now. It's a 12,000 gold lead, which is less than I expected. Or yeah, about less than I expected. Because in the last game, the first game that they played at 13 minutes, they had this lead. For them to be this close 29 minutes in, it's a credit to the fact that OG's just been farming their asses off for the last 10 minutes.
Aghanims goes to work, creates some more treants, now going to push out the bottom lane. Fauna stops the push at top. Roshan is now back up. Liquid have been kind of sitting around that Roshan area for a while now. They'll finally be able to take this Aegis, it seems. There's no chance that OG could really ever contest, right? Obviously they're not going to, but...
I think it'd be incredibly unlikely for them to win that fight. You don't want to take a fight outside your base right now.
Maybe a pick off on Fada, though?
If they could get that.
Mech, Scotty, Satanic, do they actually have the damage necessary? 1 versus 3, the Omni Slash gets laid out, they have the Snowball as well, the Orchid gets laid in, Fada, is he going to be able to fight this one? Winter's Curse, they're throwing everything they have at Fada to make sure the Satanic doesn't go to work, but he starts life stealing up. Cold Embrace actually saves No Tail's life. In a 1 versus 4 scenario, Fada almost claims a counter kill.
That was huge though, for them to be able to pick that kill off. You don't really care in this kind of scenario, Cap, like what it cost you.
Yeah.
You don't want to think about the fact that it took like 3 different ultis, the Winter's Curse, the Tusk Punch, the Juggle. You just want to think, okay, we killed him. It's a lot of gold into Moon's pocket. That's his fully completed Octarine core now.
We bought ourselves 1 more minute where
Yeah,
Liquid
exactly.
can't push in.
That's all you really have going through your mind right now. And OG, they just have to continue this game, make it as frustrating as possible for Liquid to win. This is possibly a game that they can just tilt them. They can actually do it. As the gold lead, it starts going slowly upwards.
Octarine for Moon. So every single 45 seconds, he's going to be spawning treants all over the map. Split pushing away. Oh, Crit is actually spotted out by Mind Control. Crit's not going to be able to perform the same trick twice. So hoping to be able to cut the creep wave just like he did last time.
Yeah. At some point, though, Liquid are going to say enough is enough. We've got our tier 2 in mid still available. You don't have your tier 2 available, or your tier 3 available in mid, and then we just go bottom and push for the racks. This time around, they've got the BKB, the Aegis, and the Treants are incredibly annoying, but there will be a time period where Liquid can kind of just ignore it.
Yeah. Moon, he's got nowhere to split push right now, so he'll head in to the jungle. Fly's going to keep that top lane going with Splinter Blasts.
The Ursa has travels now, though.
It's probably a next item for Fada as well, right?
Yeah, he's more slotted than he should be right now.
Which means when they do go for that single or duo hero split push, or stopping the split push of OG rather, OG have to strike again, right? They have to, you know, throw 3 or 4 heroes at the Matumba Band or at Fada.
And that's the biggest problem right now for them, is that it takes them so much to be able to kill Fada that if just one hero was behind him, they probably get destroyed in that fight, right?
Moon! They're gonna spot him out with the Invis, and Moon, he's been caught by the Invis Blade, and that is not a problem for Matumba Man. He's more than enough damage to get that 1 kill.
He almost got out, actually.
Yeah, with if this
The
route
claws
pushed
made
him out.
his way over.
Oh, Mind Control knows. Buyback there from Moon. He knows how desperate their situation is. He's got to start split pushing immediately, otherwise Liquid start gaining control of this map. OG, you know, Cold Embrace on Fly, but he'll die eventually here.
He's taking
Still
300
4 heroes
extra
top.
hit. It doesn't stop the counter.
Yeah, Cold Embrace just means more Fury Swipe ticks.
Yeah. The good news, though, is that Moon, he had enough for buyback. He's going to continue split pushing. I completely agree with your assessment. I think if Moon doesn't buy back there, then what's the point, right? Like, you're going to lose the game anyways if he just passively respawns and dies
They
again.
catch somebody? Jarix? He's been spotted here. Ice Shards brings them some time. They do have Moon coming in. Mind Control's ready to go with the RP, though. They Orchid up Moon, but the Fiend's Grip is going to stall up Moon a little bit. They have Jarix with the Glimmer Cape, but it looks like they're just giving him up. Omni Slash laid down. The rest of the team is here thanks to the Boots of Travel. Matumba Man, he's just going to wait it out until he gets his claws onto No Tail. Ice
he
Shards
wants
will
Moon.
block him a little bit more. Moon trying to get away. He doesn't have buyback. Can't afford this one. The RP, they're willing to blow everything they have. Once Moon goes down, it all but ensures a GG from OG. No Tail's going to be up next. He has no way out of this one either. Claws red with blood. Matumba Man eviscerating the team of OG. And now all they're left is with Treants. Not even Moon himself, just the Treants trying to split push and drag the creep wave away from top.
With 80 seconds, Nature's Prophet not available. They don't have pressure on the map anymore. OG, this is a pretty dire situation for them to be in. They can't really hold the base without him. They couldn't hold the base with him. The Juggernaut does have buyback, but even then, what does he really provide for you when you've got the Aegis still? And now the Jug buys back. This is going to be their one attempt to hold.
But we saw how the Omni Slash just didn't do anything there. He's got another one in 8 seconds.
This is their best
Matumba
opportunity,
Man.
though. There's no SF here.
Yeah.
They're going to ping that out, too. Like, they know there's no SF. They know that there's no RP available either. This might be one of your better chances.
25 seconds until the Furion's here, but similarly, Fada's going to be able to TP in quite soon. He actually goes mid instead. A smoke up, Liquid looking for their initiation. Matumba Man dives right in with that Aegis, doesn't find anybody. The Ice Shards blocks him out. If they could get the quick kill there and actually take away that Aegis, maybe OG had a chance. But Liquid, get away. Another initiation will come forward soon. Vada's going to be on the front lines, tanking it up. With that, Scotty jump in. There's the skewer back. They caught Miracle. Fly's going to try and come in with the Cold Embrace, and No Tail's looking for a target. But again, the Gold Scepters are going to go to work, and they've already been able to get Fly out of this one. Wither's Curse, he buys back. Fiend's Grip on a No Tail. Winter's Curse laid into Mind Control, catches Matumba Man in the process. Zova actually buys No Tail a little bit of time, but there's still 3 heroes surrounded by Liquid. They don't have a chance. Buybacks start coming in for OG, but they just don't seem to have the damage to take on Liquid. As they tower on forward inside the enemy base. Unstable Concoction coming out. Mind Control's potential target here. They start going on to Vada, actually. That'd be a big one. He has the Satanic, though. Sleep goes off. Satanic gets away, and now he starts just coming back with HP. Matumba Man zoning away the rest. Matumba Man's actually quite low here. Doesn't have the Aegis to TP out. Don't tell me. Unstable Concoction is there in time. Matumba Man still tanking up. RP! Oh, it's on 3, and OG are set up. Matumba Man wants to be able to get in there. Crit trying to finish him off. Finally, Matumba Man goes down. OG aren't actually losing many of their heroes. Mind Control. He'll die to the Alchemist. Vada's going to die to Moon. Maybe this is the chance. Liquid start buying back. And is this too much? Liquid expending the buybacks there on the Ursa as well as the Magnus. Unnecessary.
Yeah, they're not going to get anything more out of this, and it's not one of those situations where they just needed one more kill. They actually just got full-on repelled, and now you're in a situation where your Magnus and your Ursa go down. They use their buyback. Luckily, the Shadow Fiend didn't follow them, because if the SF dies there too, that's just game. Like, it's completely over.
So who doesn't have buyback now? Undying, SF, and Bane are the only ones with buyback. 2.5 minutes until Moon has his. That's going to be the next one coming up.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a scary situation where OG was able to actually hold that. They didn't have to expend too much out of it. Moon had already used the buyback, just to remind us. And the Eagle Song is now completed on the Nature's Prophet. I assume that he goes for the S-Blade shortly after.
Necessary, right? Against that Ursa. Crit. Wandering around. They do have the jam on. Crit runs right into that Abyssal Blade. They still have the Omni Slash pull, the Cold Embrace potentially to save him. Matumba Man just takes no damage whatsoever. The Omni Slash wears out. Now Fiend's Grip goes down. No Tail is just going to be torn apart eventually here. He has no real saves. The Blink Dagger unable to go off. They get the magic damage necessary to stop that one. And now they're going to catch even more with the skewer back onto Fly. The bounce around there from the Furion. He's going to be able to keep both the top and bottom lane pushed in.
None of these
Liquid,
heroes have buyback.
They could just probably 5-man down mid and end the throne.
Yeah, none of these heroes have buyback anymore. The SF has the boot to travel available. He's also got the buyback, so he's going to be the one to go for this top lane to make sure that Moon doesn't get anything out of this. But the rest of the heroes can feel free to march down. They shouldn't really care. They know that Fly had to use the buyback, same with the Tusk. The Alchemist also still has buyback on cooldown now, and now...
Unstable Concoction laid out, but 4 heroes there from Liquid, and it's only Miracle and Moon to repel this 4-man assault from Liquid.
They've got to buy time right now.
Yeah. Oh, jump in, Miracle. This isn't the way to buy time. Not with your line. Fortunately, the Ethereal Blade is going to be able to save Miracle. Jarex still got the Ghost Scepter to dodge from this physical damage if he needs to. They take the mid lane of Rax. Miracle starts coming forward, knows he has to make himself a target, but he's just going to be getting on by Matumba Man. Gets the Sprout. That's actually buying him a decent amount of time, but Final lets loose the ultimate. Miracle somehow still alive until finally gets picked up by the Skewer. RP laid down on Moon as well, plus Crit. Omni Slash laid around, but it's just not doing anything. Not enough anyway. He gets one of the kills, but Matumba Man's down. Satanic right back up, deletes the Juggernaut, and that is finally the end of the game. Liquid will take the defense grand finals 3-1 against OG.
And that was dominant. Matumba Man goes 28-3. And you saw the tempo switch when he was finally able to play heroes that don't just hit creeps. When he played the Tiny and the Ursa, just goes absolutely wild. And what a score to end in. Almost 30 kills. Really well done.
What a run in general. Grand final 14. At first, same win, like the first game, and the second game went